I just wanna lay here. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Don't know what I'm aiming for. I've just gotta feel it. Late night, yeah, my head be spinning around. Yeah, I was once lost, but baby, you got me feeling found. It's time to show them how it's done. This is the glow up. Come on, it's time to have some fun. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna break it down. We're giving big love. We're gonna show them how it's done. That's right. We're gonna show them. I've got to keep fighting. Strike hard, I'm like lightning. It's my life, I rewrite it. Yeah, I'm gonna show ya. Late night, yeah, my head be spinning around. Yeah, I was once lost, but baby, you got me feeling found. It's time to show them how it's done. This is the glow up. Come on, it's time to have some fun. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna break it down. We're giving big love. We're gonna show them how it's done. That's right. We're gonna show them. I know we're gonna make it. We just played a waiting game. I know that we were born for this. I know that we are stronger. We just gotta believe in something. You just gotta believe in us. I know that we were born for this. I've got to keep fighting. It's time to show them how it's done. Yeah, this is the glow up. Strike hard, I'm like lightning. It's time to have some fun. Yeah, it's my life. That's right. And I've got to keep fighting. We're giving big love. We're gonna show them how it's done. That's right. Come on. This is our time and we're gonna show them.
So we've been in Charlotte all week long. It's incredible. The whole industry has really been super supportive for NASCAR 25, and we've had 8 or 9 drivers trying the game, and you know, to us, it's just another step in the process of making a great game, right? You want to get their feedback, you want to implement some of the things that they give you pointers on. So enjoy some of the clips of these guys playing the game and just kind of what we went through this week. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We just got done playing NASCAR 25. I would say it's probably the most realistic Xbox PS5 game that I've played. I grew up playing all the old games through my childhood, and it was pretty awesome to be able to kind of get on again, and looking forward to when it comes out.
I mean, the physics, I used to play a lot of games, and NASCAR games, and the physics on this game is above and beyond all of them. So initial thoughts are really good.
I was blown away by how realistic the game was, and just going through the couple tracks that I ran, like seeing how true the repave was at Iowa, and the new asphalt lines up with what we have in real life. The grip levels were accurate, impressive.
It's really cool, like seeing myself in a video game. That means a lot for me, because like I never imagined like saw me in a video game, and it made me feel like the first time when I jumped in a car, it was the same feeling.
Well, the first time seeing myself was, I mean, you dream about those moments, right? I mean, growing up and playing video games, like I said, 2K or anybody, and playing as LeBron James or doing something, right? You want to take your my player to the top of the, and have the overall, the 99 overall, you know? So now I get to do that for myself. I'm gonna be on that game 24/7.
For the first time ever, there's a whole new level of authenticity to the NASCAR game with the actual track scans and the car physics, which is going to bring fans closer to the sport.
You can definitely tell that iRacing had a significant impact on this game, from the driving characteristics to the audio, the visuals. You can tell the footprint that iRacing had on this platform, and It's a great thing because it just shows how next level video games can be.
iRacing is huge, so just the opportunity for it to go to a game console is also just a great opportunity for people that love racing or just trying to do it for fun and maybe trying to get into it.
I think the first game that I probably played was NASCAR 05. Got that game, actually had it on PSP at the time, and then played it on console as well, so that's really how I got started, and my friends said that I took the game way too seriously.
As a kid growing up, I was a big-time NASCAR video gamer and would love getting to explore all the different tracks and see what they're about, and going to Pocono and realizing it's a triangle, and how Loudon, New Hampshire is really flat, and just seeing all the variety of different racetracks.
This game, from the driver's perspective, is what it needs to be. I mean, myself, in my own career, there's just that energy level when you walk into the racetrack and you hear the engines and practice starts. There's just that feel that you get when you get in your race suit, you hop in the truck.
I'll never forget it, my first ever time at Daytona, when I rolled into the garage and they put my car on 4 jack stands and they raise up the hood, and all you hear is the guns going on the tires, the guys working on the car, the spotter, crew chief talking. Like, it took me away because it felt like I've been in that situation before, and it actually was like I'm actually living this moment that I played in the game a million of times. So now to be in this game even more elevated, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's definitely huge.
I can't thank these drivers enough. This week has been super special for all of us to come down here and shoot this content and get their feedback. We've had a long relationship with a lot of these guys, and I'm so excited. Even ones we've just met this trip. The passion that they have and the excitement that they have to get this game out and in the market is super exciting. In case you haven't heard, October 14th, that's our launch date. So we're going to open pre-orders and we're going to get you that gameplay trailer that you guys are all begging for about a month before. So stay tuned. We got a lot more information coming on the game for NASCAR 25.
Visit NASCAR25.com for more information on the game, and make sure you follow us on social media at NASCAR25Game.
This is iRacing.
Good evening, Dirt fans, and welcome to the final night of qualifiers. It's a cool and dusty Friday night here at the Big House here in Crandon, Wisconsin. 6 races down, 1 race to go to find out who will be qualifying for your top split in the Super Sessions on Saturday. It's been a long road to get here through the hard times and the good, but we have now one more opportunity to see some fresh faces and some friendly faces to fight for those last spots in the top split for the Super Sessions on Saturday. My name is Peter Christie. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a heck of a week here over in the Crandon Championships. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some upside downs, and everything in between. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first race this week, you picked a good one, because everything is on the line going into the money races, the championship races tomorrow. That's where we will crown 2 champions. Are we going to see somebody go back-to-back, or are we going to have a new face to the top step of the podium? This is just one of our many special events here at iRacing, heading into the end of our summer swing here. Again, we have much more left for you in the rest of the year. Some notable standouts, of course, will be the Indy 6 Hours, September 5th and 6th, coming up very #soon. And the BRSCC FF1600 Festival as well. If you've never driven the FF1600 Ray and iRacing, it's a treat and a half. One of the most fun rookie cars in the service. And speaking of events that mean a lot to a small community, check out that Winter Derby in December. So much and more here on the iRacing.com special event schedule, and there will be so much more action here tonight. Again, we have 2 races for you this evening, and I'm joined once again, nice to see you tonight for once, Joshua Lee.
Excited to be here at such an amazing point in the week. I mean, we saw earlier today the photo finish in the feature. I'm hoping for another one tonight, but this is the last chance for these drivers to get those points ahead of our Super Sessions tomorrow. Remember, the Super Session points are going to seed where drivers go in their respective splits within those Super Sessions. Drivers aren't in the top 20. They need to get there now to have their shot at the top split.
Yeah, of course, this is our last qualifying race of the evening. And Josh, I like what you just said there. It's not who makes it into the Super Sessions. It's just your seeding for the Super Sessions. But everybody wants to be on broadcast. Something you said this morning, this is the highest level of short course racing and iRacing at this point in time, and everybody wants to put on a show and showcase this wonderful, wonderful community of short course racing at the Mecca that is Crandon International Raceway. 2 races tomorrow, 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've been following us along this week, the same Crandon time, same Crandon channel, but we still have to get through tonight. And Josh, why don't you let us know how we got here?
And throughout the week, we've had those preliminary races, the final one being tonight, open to anybody with a dirt road license D4.0 and above on the safety rating. 2 time slots a day. This is the final preliminary time slot of the week, 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And throughout this week, points have been accrued. Those will help seed drivers into the Super Sessions tomorrow for both of the time slots, 11 a.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern. The same exact session format as we've seen all week long goes into those Super Sessions as well, and those splits are determined by the highest points scored, then by their dirt road iRating. I've compared it all week to Indy 500 qualifying on the iRacing service. Those splits determined by qualifying time. You can still race even if you have not raced all week with us in the preliminary races. You can still race in the Super Sessions. You're just gonna have to fall back on your dirt road iRating to see you past everybody with the points throughout the week.
Wouldn't be the first time that's happened, wouldn't be the last. Again, if you take a look at what we have to show you here tonight, and Josh, let's take a look at what happened throughout the week. Again, there were thrills, there were spills, we had ups and downs, a bunch of different winners, and not unlike 2024, up until this point, no repeat winner. Every race has had a new face to the top of the step of the podium.
And you gotta go all the way back to Wednesday morning when we started this journey for the week, Keenan, to find the first moments of aggression, the first moments of exciting action. This was Dane Culver on Wednesday night, making a couple enemies with his slide jobs. Connor Berry up the middle there. I'm excited to see if he joins us tomorrow for the Super Sessions, but we've had a lot of calamity, especially down in Calamity Corner, and a lot of close door-to-door racing. This was just the beginning of the week, Keenan, and that led into what we saw today and over the course of this week.
The racing has been building and building like a powder keg. Every day we go on, it seems that we get a little bit more aggressive. Drivers are being a little bit more ruthless. Again, the bump and run was used 2 races in a row. We saw from Zachary Drapkin last night. We saw from Crystal King this morning. Played to absolute perfection over Brody Descher, and she does not need to race. As we'll talk about that a little bit later. She's just here for the love of the game. And so from somebody who's won so many qualifying races last year, Josh, she finally got hers. But now she needs to start to see if she can make it happen where it matters.
She's got an opportunity to do something that nobody has done this week, and that is win both multiple feature races and multiple feature races in the same day. There was the photo finish we saw earlier today between Crystal King to get that win in today's feature race. But moving forward and taking a look at our Super Sessions and how we've gotten to this point in the Super Session standings, Winkler and Culver, top 2, Zachary Drapkin, Connor Berry, and Tom Grady, the top 5. Pretty much everybody within that top 10 is pretty safe, Keenan, but even going all the way down to Jeb Boodle in 20th. Remember, this is only be your top 20 field in the top split of tomorrow's Super Sessions. If all 20 were to show up, we've got drivers underneath this that if anybody within that top 20 doesn't make it to one of the Super Sessions, it's going to fill out with drivers on this page.
A lot of shockers here. Cody Vanderveer, 27th. Tanner Pettit, one of your World of Outlaws drivers, in 29th. Cody Winecki in only 28th. And take a look at the right side of the bracket. A lot of those names you're very familiar with, Josh, but they're almost 10 positions out now. And really going to need something to happen tonight. And again, we've talked about Daniel Solo, Terry Miller, Ryan Avila. Again, talking about another one of those dirt oval guys. Miles Morse has just had no luck at all. And unfortunately, bringing up the rear of our top 60 is our very own Chris Leone.
I don't think he's going to make the top splits of any of the Super Sessions tomorrow, but he will still be able to compete much like everybody else on this page. Even if they don't make the top broadcasted split, they're still going to be able to race with us tomorrow on Saturday. And same with anybody else wanting to take a shot at the Crandon Championship. And at this track, Keenan, this is the perfect place to do an iRacing off-road special event. The very technical arena section starts the lap. Then they go out into the long straightaways, down into Cowboy Corner, and back through Potawatomi Turn 1 to get back into the arena. It is 1.5 miles of non-stop action in these Pro 4s.
Was watching some races in real life from the last couple of years, and I think the best thing I saw in one of the descriptions of the videos was hallowed ground. This is the mecca of short course racing. This is the place to do it. This is our Daytona, with 3 really problem areas. Cowboy Corner there down towards the far end of the course. Gravel Pit, that first hairpin. Calamity Corner, of course. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not experienced 20 Pro 4 trucks firing off on the Potawatomi Turn 1, welcome to Land Rush Starts, baby.
And this is a full 20 truck field that we're going to see in the top split tonight, Keenan, all driving these off-road Pro 4 trucks. They are 4-wheel drive, crank up to 900 horsepower with their 410 cubic inch V8 engine, 6-speed sequential transmission, no electronic assist. You're not going to get any traction control with those 4 wheels. They weigh roughly about 4,100 pounds, and those suspensions, coilovers, and shocks create front wheel travel of 18 inches in the front, 20 inches in the rear, and these things can go over jumps and they can suck up landings like the best of them. And these trucks, Keenan, they may be 4-wheel drive, they may be on the dirt with traction tires. They're going to be wheel spinning throughout these corners if they're not careful.
They're made to take a licking both in the track and the head-to-head actions you saw in our highlight reel there. We're going to have 2 races. Obviously our qualifying, which will be 3 laps, and then into our 6-lap heat. That heat will decide our running order, our starting lineup for our feature race. There's no cautions. As soon as we get the green flag, we are racing until we have a winner. And of course, as we just said, all of those races, both of which will feature 10 wide, 20 trucks, land rush start into Potawatomi Turn 1, one of the best spectacles in short course racing.
We've seen a lot of drama when it comes to that land rush start already this week. I'm expecting to see a lot more here. But Keenan, we've been talking all week about what's going on this week at Crandon. We also got the Season 4 developers blog yesterday, brand new cars, brand new track in Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, the final stage of the NASCAR refresh, as well as hints as a couple more things on the horizon.
Yeah, as somebody who's, whenever they're not on the dirt, it spends a lot of time racing GT4, I cannot tell you how excited I am to get my hands behind that Mustang and be able to try all that GT4 refresh as well. The new UI looks wonderful. About time that Tart team has been working so hard that we get to see the fruits of their labor, and much, much more coming in the next build. And Chris Leone touched on it a little bit this morning. A lot more in the hashtag soon on the horizon for the iRacing service.
And speaking of that, iRacing Arcade also teased a little bit earlier this week. We akined it to NASCAR Rumble, NASCAR Unleashed, coming to Steam this fall and consoles in early 2026. Love the arcadey feel of this game. It's not the full sim that iRacing is. I'm expecting to be able to pick up a controller and play this with my friends relatively easily.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time with Original Fire Games' other offerings, especially Karting Superstars. A game that you pick up and go, yeah, okay, and then all of a sudden, 8 hours later, you're still playing it. Also nice to see a lot of fan-favorite tracks. Obviously, Imola, we heard, was really excited to be a part of this project. And to see Barber in another video game is awesome. One of the most underrated tracks in North America.
We also got the tease about Jerome Hermanos Rodriguez there as well. It'll be in the sim and in the new iRacing arcade. Looking forward to that happening next week. But Keenan, we got trucks on the track now as we take a look at Dane Culver firing his way down the straightaway and into Cowboy.
Something we haven't talked about all week is the weather is going to be different. The conditions are going to be different. Unlike asphalt racing, the dirt's going to be in a different state every single time these drivers go out there. The lap times are going to fluctuate. The side bite of the tire is going to fluctuate. And Dane Culver now, your number one truck here, or your winner of the 9 p.m. race last year of the Super Session, calling himself the champion, one of the two, the co-champions for 2024. Josh, he's about to start his first flying lap. Somebody who doesn't need to race today. We'll talk about that when we get into our starting grid. He's just here for the love of the game.
And he did win a feature race earlier this week. That was on Tuesday night, the first session of the week. And he won that feature, hasn't been able to get back to victory lane yet, but we get a good onboard look of Dane Culver here as he gets his lap started through Calamity Corner. One of those drivers utilizing a sim rig setup as well, and that one truck's going to get a good slingshot to get this lap underway.
Yeah, his sim rig actually really similar to what it would be like to race in his USAC midget that he participates in quite a bit. If you follow him on Instagram, he's racing basically every weekend, and there's a reason it says knuckles up on the side of that truck. He's not afraid to get physical, and you have to in the world of dirt oval racing as well, as he starts his first flying lap. Heading down here into Cowboy Corner, so important. This is the first place you're going to see some difference from a traditional racing line. Very deep into the corner, uses the right front to slow that truck down, Josh, and then a straight line exit, as you said, to minimize the wheel spin and take off as fast as you can.
I know it's a little bit dark, we're missing a little bit of light on him, but just take a look on the bottom right of his webcam at his wheel. It is staying almost nearly straight. He comes over that jump, uses the wheel to pitch that truck, but then look at the throttle control that he is using throughout the turn. It's not a whole lot of play in the steering wheel. It's a lot more play in the throttle and brake to get these trucks through the corners, maybe even a tap of a handbrake here and there, but it is a very limited steering left to right to try and limit the amount of wheel spin and drift these drivers get through these corners. Ultimately, the more the back end step out, the more they're going to scrub off speed.
One of the first things that former pro driver Josh Edmondson told me is if you're counter steering, you're going slow, which is really counterintuitive to what you see on TV, but absolutely the way to go is Nathan Minster finishing his first qualifying attempt here now. We'll have to see where that puts him on the board. One of those drivers that would love a solid run. He is sitting in about 11th position overall in points. Speaking of the points position, we have Drake Matag here tonight, somebody, Josh, who was leading the race. He was gone, ran out of fuel, and instead of sitting 13th where the person who won the race was, he's on the bubble in 18th overall right now.
Matag looking to A, put on the right setup and have enough fuel to make it to the end of the feature race, and B, get a little bit more insurance when it comes to those points for the Super Session tomorrow. Here is your feature race winner from earlier on today. She also won the sprint. It's Crystal King, who was on her third lap, had her first lap disallowed, used the second lap to get reset back to the pits, get a fresh set of tires, and get back going for this third lap that she's on right now. The lap times are only getting faster, Keenan. Now 3 drivers within the 1:14s. Can Crystal King use the same magic she used yesterday, run a 1:14.8 en route to pole?
Josh, you talked a little bit about how close that finish was this morning. Speaking of which, we finally have Sean Winkler in his real Racecraft Academy machine. Nice to see that livery on the 720. But how close the finish was, it was a couple thousandths of a second comparable to the Skip Barber race that happened last night. Take a look on the timing board. Is there a name there that stands out to you? That's right. It's Aaron Vasquez, trying to show he's got some mitts on the dirt. And keep in mind, Aaron is fast in everything he touches, including these Pro 4 trucks.
We saw Vasquez and Skip Barber, and now he's taking his hand at the dirt road trucks. And by the way, a 75.04 on his iRating in these trucks as well. I'm not going to scoff at him if we see him at the top of the leaderboard. I don't think it's going to be much of a shock to see him be fast in our sprints and feature races tonight. I think it's a natural talent that Aaron Vasquez has for the sim, and a 79.04 when it comes to, or 75.04, excuse me, when it comes to his iRating, just showing that he is here to run fast.
Yeah, I think it's kind of odd for him not to be at the top of a timing board for the first time in his life. but he's still very handy here, very strong strength of field for Aaron Vasquez. And other than that, Joshua, I think we have a lot of the same names that we've been seeing all week. Maybe some new names here to top split and new names here to the evening top split, which seems to bring out a lot of the heavy hitters out of the woodwork. But other than that, very familiar names, all understanding this is our last gas, our last opportunity to be able to gain some points and make it into those Super Session top splits tomorrow.
And looking down my timing screen right now, and it's also a lot of drivers that we have not seen a ton of this week. A lot of drivers looking for last-minute points for those Super Sessions happen tomorrow, trying to get into the broadcast splits, maybe just trying to get a little bit of a better result for the week. But Crystal King crosses the line for her final lap at a 1:15.0, and last minute, Nicholas Dachelet just ran a 1:14.854.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's in contention for the fastest lap, pole lap of the week, if he can hang on to it. And of course, Dachelet, your other champion from 2024, both in this session tonight. If you want to join the best in short course racing, again, we have 2 Super Sessions tomorrow, or figure out how to start your sim racing career, whether that's dirt, asphalt, or anything in between, head over to iRacing.com today, and you could be the next Crandon champion.
Qualifying almost up now, but those top 2 that we saw, Nicholas Dachelet and Thad Countryman, why are they racing tonight, Keenan? Ultimately, I think it's just love of the game, like you mentioned. They just want to get some laps in, and both of them looking for more points as well. Sean Winkler doesn't need those points, but, more insurance to the top 20 can't hurt anybody.
Everybody in that top 10 doesn't need to race. They understand what's on the line here. This is some of the most competitive fields in dirt road and short course racing here on iRacing. This is the best competition you're going to get and the highest level. And don't get me wrong, we've been talking to them all week. They're here to put on a show for you guys watching at home as well.
And our final sprint race of our preliminaries is about to get underway. Keenan Dachelet with that final lap there right before the clock expired. 1:14.854. Thad Countryman, another fast driver behind. Then it's Culver, Winkler, King, Minster, Retzlaff, Lindy, Grady, and McAfee that is rounding out your top 10 and the opening row. And we've got a full second row as well down to P20.
Harry Miller, Cody Vanderveer, 2 drivers who need a great finish. Aaron Vasquez, welcome to the party. You'll start 13th. And then some other notable names. Drake Matag trying to make up for that mistake. Joey Herbie with a lot of bad luck this morning. Hadley Boyce, welcome down from New Zealand, my friend. You'll be starting 17th. Brody Desher. Unfortunately, not a great lap for Brody as we round out the top 20 with James Burke and Miles Morris as we are set to start our first full 20 truck field here in our Land Rush starts. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not experienced the thunder of 20 Pro 4 trucks heading down into Potawatomi Turn 1, you're about to. The flagman is ready. The stage is set. Welcome to the first dance. We have all 20 drivers ready to take the green flag. It's at the starter's discretion, and this is the last opportunity to make it into the Super Sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green once again for the final time before the Super Sessions here at Crandon. Great start from Crystal King, as I believe that is Thad Countryman as well to the inside. Huge hole shot.
James Burke caught sleeping, but those leaders weren't. Dane Culver tries to go inside of 3. They're beating it, banging and flipping in the back, but we're still 3-4 wide up front over the jump. It is getting worse as multiple trucks now flipping up and over. It's calamity in turn 2, but to the lead goes Thad Countryman. We're 3 wide for second.
Hearing the bowling pin stee right behind them as the first couple of trucks get a clean wear away. Where did he come from downtown? Dane Culver picks up 2 spots in one corner, picking up where he left off on Wednesday night. He's trying to end the night with a podium or maybe another win going into this heat race as we finally start our first lap.
Downtown, Dane Culver sent the move in, ends up in 3rd after Calamity Corner. We now officially go on to lap number 1 after the Land Rush start. There's a lot of body panels missing off of these Pro 4 trucks and a lot of slower trucks in the back of the field, but we have a big send from the 16. That's Nathan Minster moving Matthew Lindy back straight.
Minster's telling us you get my name wrong all week. Let me give you a reason to remember it. Big send in Argonne Corner. He's going to try to hold the inside of Cowboy Corner. We have another kerfuffle up to the front. We have not had one calm corner this entire race.
I believe that was Nicholas Dachelet that just spun on top of Dane Culver. It was drama going into Cowboy Cowboy, and we're going to have a lot of work to find out exactly what happened in seemingly every corner on lap number 1. But to the lead, Aaron Vasquez, Keenan.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who tuned in 2024, where you have a good memory, remember, Dashley and Culver, very, very acquainted with each other. They're not big fans of each other, and it looks like that rivalry is renewed tonight. But where did he come from? Has only won one race this week. Aaron Vasquez to the point when he didn't want to do that, tapping the inside wall there in Calamity Corner, but he's got a considerable lead here as we head on our second lap of 6.
There is still drama in this mid-pack as well. You saw Sean Winkler there for a moment. Just send one in on Nathan Minster. He goes up to P5. There is more issues in the back of the field, but we're going to take a look at what happened there on lap number 1 going into Cowboy. Third truck in line is Nicholas Dashley. He gets up the inside of Dane Culver. I mean, he was I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It looked like he was trying to make the corner, but he had absolutely no chance.
404, brake pedal not found whatsoever, I think, into Cowboy Corner. As we said before, you think that rivalry is not renewed. Those two absolutely remember each other, and that's going to continue not into just tonight, but into our super sessions tomorrow as we're getting a little bit more spread out. Now, of course, we have some trucks towards the back who did not benefit off of that start. We saw someone towards the back that's now right towards the front, Crystal King, Cody Vanderveer, as we jump on to this battle now for about P4, as we're going to take another look at another replay, just stuff all over the racetrack to take a look at.
I think this is what I was looking at on the start of this lap that we're on currently. The 16 hits the wall in front, and that is Tom Grady just running into, I believe, Miles Morse. No, that was Miles Morse getting vertical there in a bit of a wheelie. So he made contact with another truck that just sent him around on landing. And I think, Keenan, we haven't talked much about these jumps, but other than rallycross, this is the only discipline of racing on iRacing that you go vertical. You leave the racing surface on purpose, and pitching the truck in the air and making sure that you're not landing on another truck can be one of the toughest things to get right, especially when you're racing in traffic.
Not a whole lot you could do, Josh, once you get in the air other than say, uh-oh. So not, unfortunately for Tom Grady, he's going to have to try and see if he can make something happen here in the feature race and just kind of do some damage mitigation as we have a battle for the lead. We have a battle for 4. Dane Culver to the inside of Aaron Vasquez. He gets the block pass done to Ponce turn 2. That opens the door for Thad Countryman now. He put some respect on Thad's name. Remember, on iRating alone, he's the #1 ranked driver in this field.
Race for the lead on the top, and we still got drama in that race for 4th. They're now double 2 rows, 2 wide, as back into Calamity Corner. Battle for the lead, went to the hand of Dane Culver. Now here comes Vasquez, the Spaniard, up the inside to try and get that spot back. Culver gives a hip check on the exit of that finish line jump, pushes Vasquez to 3rd, and here comes Thad Countryman looking for another sprint race win on the week.
Dane Culver says, welcome to Pro 4, Vasquez. This is how we like to get it done here at Crandon. And keep an eye on that battle for 4th as well. Really important. Joey Herbie, not even in the conversation for points right now. Matthew Linda, your first driver outside looking in 21st. Both of them, they don't need to win, Josh. They need a solid finish, especially in a field as stacked as this one.
This strength of field is one of the best of the week, and we're seeing some of the stars of iRacing off-road honestly struggle a little bit. It was a bit of a chaotic first lap that kind of spread a lot of our big names out, and that left Dane Culver, one of the newer names of iRacing off-road, Thad Countryman, the highest iRating that I have ever seen in dirt road at over 10,000, and Aaron Vasquez, who has a 7504 iRating, fresh off a Skip Barber last night, trying to get some points toward the super session for tonight.
And look who's back there licking his chops, old Sean Winkler, isn't he? The farther these top 3 argue, the more that's going to open the door up for the Racecraft Academy driver to be able to make something happen as we ride along with Nathan Minster now. He's trying to keep the cork in this bottle to stay in this fight. But again, the more you fight, the more you open the door up to trucks behind you. And this position is very important, not just for Minster, but for almost everybody, including this 4K now joining the conversation as Minster to the inside of Joey Herbie.
That was a beautiful move from Nathan Minster, excuse me. I'm getting his name wrong again. Still side by side as they go into Cowboy. That's a big send for Matthew Lindy back there as well. Does it stick? It doesn't stick for Minster. Did stick for Herbie. Lindy up to P6 now as the leaders fight on. And Sean Winkler trying to stay with that lead group and trying to do what he did Wednesday night. Keenan, win us another sprint.
Lindy trying to join his KS Industries teammate of Evan McFarland in the top part of this points conversation. But now look at Aaron Vasquez. We just talked about it. Right into the clutches of Sean Winkler, who's having the Crandon Championship of his life. Won that absolute barn burner on Wednesday night. And he makes the move to the inside of gravel pit of Aaron Vasquez. That's going to be Winkler to the podium positions. As Thad Countryman now to the outside of Dane Culver. Not a whole lot he could do in the Calamity corner. But Josh, I think that's just a, hey man, I'm here. It's time to start fighting.
And we've only got one more lap as well to settle it in the heat race. Your battle for the lead right now between Culver and Countryman. If things go south, we're going to see Sean Winkler and Aaron Vasquez catch back up. Countryman to the inside, down the final straightaway towards Cowboy corner. How is this going to work out, Keenan? Countryman's on the inside. Does he go aggressive with it?
Here comes the bomb, but Dane Culver goes defensive. He gets knocked wide. That gets the pass done, but Dane Culver saw it coming, goes for the over-under. They're beating and banging going into Potawatomi.
Still side by side over the whoops, now into Potawatomi turn 1. It is Culver outside in the purple and green truck. It is Thad Countryman now on the right side in the black and blue machine. Here comes Sean Winkler, the real Racecraft Group truck, trying to insert himself in this lead battle. Down the hill they go into gravel pit. Keenan, this is all but over with as Countryman Winkler inside.
What is going on? Winkler went from third to first to third once again. He's going to get the run coming out of the corner. We're 3 wide going into Calamity corner. This is just a heat race. Sean Winkler to the point. Big set behind from Aaron Vasquez. Can Winkler get himself another one? He does. Sean Winkler, the chess master, from third to first in the last quarter of a lap, gets the whole shot for the feature and wins your heat race in a barn burner.
Get that hand up, Sean. Get that hand up. Celebrate that win. What a final lap. Winkler was out of it. We thought he was too far back. And what did I say, Keenan? If those top 2 start fighting, they're going to have a mirror full of Sean Winkler. Oh, by the way, look at exactly what just happened.
Sean Winkler to the point. Dane Culver still a great finish in the P2. He's going to have something for Winkler going into the feature. Aaron Vasquez, welcome to the party, my friend. This is how we get down at Crandon, but still the last step on the podium here of your qualifying heat race. Cody Vanderveer, Joey Herbie with some decent finishes there, rounding out your top 10. And some names to look for again is Matthew Linda still up there solid here. Everyone 10th on deck, Josh, got caught up in those early conversations, early kerfuffles. Crystal King, Terry Miller, Brody Desher, James Burke, Hadley Boyce, Drake Matag, of course, trying to recover from the earlier this week. Not the best start for him. Tom Grady, Nicholas Dashley, your 2024 champion of the early split, the earlier race, back in 18th.
Dashley now going to start on the second row of that Land Rush start as well. Miles Morse having some issues early on, and I don't believe Cody Retzlaff ended up taking the green flag here in our sprint race. But we've gone through now a week of preliminary races. We're entering the Super Sessions tomorrow, Keenan. This feature race is going to be the last opportunity for a lot of these drivers to get their points for the week heading into our Super Sessions tomorrow. We've already kind of seen, I think, Keenan, the desperation start to come out from a lot of drivers, and that was just a sprint.
Again, a lot of these drivers, if you see the preliminary race spoil points we have there, it's ordered by finishing position and strength of field. So a lot of the drivers in the top 10 don't even need to be racing right now. We touched on it a little bit at the top of the broadcast. Not only do they want to race with the best of the best, but they know we're here broadcasting, Josh. They know we're here putting on a show, and they want to put on a show for everybody watching at home and say, hey, this is short course racing. Buy yourself a Pro 4 truck, and let's see you out on the dirt.
Nothing this community wants more than to get the attention and to get more people wanting to run an iRacing off-road and dirt road in general. That is why the iRacing Crandon Championship is always one of the best special events of the year. And here's your highlights, a lot of them as well, from that heat race. Crystal King in the middle of the Mets and just ends up getting turned around after the jump after Potawatomi turn 1. And if all of this looks exciting to you, get on iRacing.com because, Keenan, yes, we saw a lot of chaos, but we also saw another exciting finish. It was something that has become commonplace this week.
Yeah, it's almost boring to see 2 trucks go over the line side by side. We need to start seeing 3, 4, and 5. And if the theme is for the weekend, the theme of the week rather, it's absolutely going to happen. Again, please join us tomorrow for the culmination of a week's long of effort, time, blood, sweat, and tears. Session number 1 at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Session number 2 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Same Crandon time, same Crandon channel as this week, but everything will be on the line. Could we have 2 new champions, or will Dashley and Culver try to go back-to-back?
And in this sprint race, you can see Sean Winkler in front, got a shot from Aaron Vasquez, kept up front, got the win. And Winkler now 2 sprint race wins on the week. Dane Culver is going to start in second place as well on that land rush.
Yeah, we talked about Matthew Linda, who's going to try to race his way in. He needs a great finish, but also Cody Vanderveer, currently 27th for that driver. He's got to find a way to make something happen here. Joey Herbie, not even in the conversation. So even just being in the top 10 is a great finish for him. A lot of these drivers, too, towards the back. King, Dashley, Miles Morris needs a great finish as well. Cody Retzlaff needs something to happen for him. And Drake Matag, obviously, with that big mistake early on in the week, would love to come back and get a solid finish to find his way up in points and just have that safety net. We'll only find out now in 10 laps time who will be your top 20 in points, who will get a chance to put on a spectacle tomorrow, Saturday morning and Saturday evening. We're going to find out when these 20 trucks take the green. Flag stand getting ready. We have the call that all drivers are ready. Engines revving, 900 horsepower, 20 trucks firing on all cylinders. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time before the real races on Saturday, we are green here for Crandon International Raceway.
Who's going to get the whole shot? The 16 truck, Nathan Minster in the middle, almost lost it over the whoops. Winkler's going to get the whole shot. They're 3 wide for second. Crystal King trying to make it through the mid-pack this time as they go open over the jump. A couple trucks, multiple flipping over.
Oh, good Lord. Looks like toys just flipping left, right, and center, and you can't lift. You have to stay on the power. That's Crystal King that's getting the worst of it. There's so many issues back there. We'll jump on to see who made it, who did it. Dane Culver has survived the start and immediately to the point.
There goes all of the safety rating on all those drivers, but more importantly, a lot of insurance on points for a lot of those drivers. Crystal King not going to be happy about getting caught up in that, but at least she's more safe than a couple of the other drivers that were involved in that one. But back out front, second verse, same as the first. It's Culver, it's Vasquez, Ducher, almost pushing Winkler all the way to the grass. And oh, by the way, Nicholas Dashley is here as well. Winkler did not leave him any room.
Dashley with the experience paying off, basically coming from the back of the grid up into the top 5. He's in the conversation, but look at everybody involved in this battle. Some of the strong, brightest stars throughout the week. Winkler, Desher, Countryman, and everybody in between. I think that's Cody Vanderveer, who just said needed a great result. He's in a position to make it happen here as we'll follow this battle for the lead, but all of these trucks here, we have 5 all fighting for P5 right now.
This is your biggest battle on the track right now as we're not even done with lap number 1 in the feature. Winkler and Desher side by side as they go their way into gravel pit. That is the black number 11 to the inside. Desher, Winkler on the outside in that real racecraft group, black, white, and blue machine. Start studying these paint schemes. We're going to see a lot of these drivers come tomorrow in the super sessions, and they're going to be beating and banging just like this.
Oh, big incident there for the 11 truck. He's going to go off course. He'll join us back, be able to lose a minimal amount of time. That was Desher dropping back as the 10 machine of Retzlaff now in the conversation. He didn't even race in the heat. He's just here for the feature. He gets bounced wide from Cody Vanderveer. As ladies and gentlemen, we'll try to talk you through what we saw in the start, but it's just chaos. There's a reason they call it, we have Calamity Corner, but every corner is Calamity Corner in turn 1.
This was 20 trucks going into Potawatomi turn 1, and it was all good until Minster gets a little bit cattywampus. And I think that was, I'm giving Minster, I'm talking about Minster. I mean, it was 3-4 other trucks that all simultaneously just kind of started losing it off of the jump. And if you land sideways in these trucks, you're either going to pitch it perfect, like we just saw leader Dane Culver do, or excuse me, we just saw Nicholas Deschalais do, or Thad Countryman do. I'll get it right eventually. Thad Countryman do off of that jump, or you're going to see these trucks pitch completely the wrong way and end up sideways like a lot of those trucks did.
How hard do you fight now with Dane Culver pulling away from this field? Vasquez in tow in second place. Deschalais now to the front of this group of trucks, trying to catch the back of Aaron Vasquez. But the more these fight, the 11 machine of Descher is the cork in the bottle now, because you have a lot of hungry drivers back there now trying to score some points. Matthew Linden, Joey Hervey, and I believe that it's Hadley Boyce, the New Zealander, back there as well. Drake Matag trying to make up for his mistake in the feature earlier this week. A lot of drivers with a lot to prove here in this part of the field.
And they race their way down into Cowboys. We focus on Matthew Lindy in ninth in that number 14. Does he set up a move going in? He does. Trying to look to the inside. Just get side by side is all he's trying to do with Brody Tesher to the outside. You really have to be aggressive with those moves into Cowboy, Keenan. It's kind of a little bit obvious the more you keep watching these trucks go into Cowboy, who's really trying to make a pass, who's trying to set up a pass, and who's just looking to hold off and make a pass somewhere else. I think that latter point was exactly what we just saw from the 14 truck.
Boyce to the inside of Herbie there, using the motocross style scrub to get past the jump into Ponce turn 2, down into the gravel pit now. Joey Herbie's going to opt to go wide, go for the exit speed as Hadley Boyce covers off the inside, and Terry Miller to the back. He had a very bad, no good race to forget last night, and now he's leading the modified class. He's missing the whole front of that track.
Terry Miller, known as the Terminator in P13 right now, in the number 13 truck as he races on behind the 8 of Joey Herbie in front, and a side-by-side battle between Adley Boyce and Drake Matag. Unfortunately, after the issues Matag had the other night, Keenan, I was expecting him to run up front, but I think getting buried in that land rush start just hurt the number 18 truck and is now
big crash.
Completely far back in the mid-pack. Is we just had drama there. Was that Aaron Vasquez that just lost a couple spots?
Aaron Vasquez into the wall. I'm not sure if he just went too deep into Cowboy or Nicholas Deschalais had something to say about it. Good recovery from Aaron as he's going to be able to get through in 4th place. That still should be good for him on points. As Josh, let's take a look at what happened here.
Let's see what happened for Aaron Vasquez to lose those spots. That is a mirror full of Nicholas Deschalais behind. Deschalais sent one in, lost it, booped the number 4. That just sent him up out of the groove. Honestly, Deschalais was a little bit, slid the back end out just a little bit too much in that corner, but honestly, Keenan, that's a pretty clean pass. He didn't wreck him. He didn't forcefully move him out of the way. Just the lightest tap on the door avoided the forward from being able to arc the corner, and he got the pass. Just unfortunately, Sean Winkler also got by Vasquez as well.
He didn't wreck him. He didn't move him. He rubbed it. And rubbing is short course racing. Aaron learning the hard way as Deschalais is now going to go chase down Dane Culver. But we join on this battle that's not over by a long shot. That's Drake Matag we're riding on board, the number 4 machine. He's got a good recovery now sitting in the top 10. We'll have to see if he can move forward, but he has a lot of drivers with a lot to prove behind him. Hadley Boyce, the New Zealander, now trying to make something happen for P10.
We're going to be watching the points after this race and going into tomorrow to see who we've got within top split range for the Super Session. I'm hoping Drake Matag ends up within striking distance of being in the broadcast splits tomorrow, because he just had such bad luck the other night running out of fuel before the end of the feature race. I really want to see him at the top stage tomorrow on Saturday. But back from there, this race for 12 has a who's who of names. How about Crystal King in that 278 back there in P14 right now, trying to get her way back up through the field. And Crystal just had the same issues, I think, as Matag. Just got buried in the land rush start. It might not seem like buried if you're starting within the top 10, Keenan, being on that front row, but once they all funnel into Potawatomi turn 1, if you're within that mid-pack, it is going to be very, very difficult to make up spots. I think it's exactly what happened to Crystal King in both of our races tonight.
And yeah, the momentum for your entire race can be decided in Potawatomi turn number 1. And unfortunately for the factory SimSport driver, it's not good momentum as Saucy Susan is trying to move her way up through the field. As speaking of moving, that's the number 4 machine of Drake Matag now getting moved wide by Boyce. Boyce to the inside of Cowboy does not go for the dive. They're going to be side by side. Are we going to see a block pass? No, but Matag goes wide, opens the door up for Boyce to take the position, and Crystal King made a move in the background. That didn't get done. She drops a few spots behind.
Crystal King tried, but unfortunately this side-by-side battle between Terry Miller and Joey Herbie is still ongoing. You're on board looking back from Terry Miller from Hadley Boyce, as he slides to try and pass Drake Matag on the outside. Into gravel pit they go. Does Matag go defensive? He sits it in the middle. Hadley Boyce going to the inside. Will set up a side-by-side going over the jump.
Hadley trying to make something happen. This is just good, clean, short course racing. Pass after pass after pass, making up for mistakes. A little bit of a nudge now to the back of Matag. Again, all is fair in short course racing. As long as you don't put someone off the racetrack, you have to expect these hits are coming. As Drake Matag, they call it Impact Sim Sports for a reason. He's trying to hang on to that front position now as the New Zealanders chasing him down.
In a world full of track limits and broken wings, Keenan, I'm very glad that in the off-road portion of iRacing, you're able to beat and bang with limited aero damage, and you are able to make moves happen like this, and you're able to race aggressively with one another. And we're seeing that all week long. It's coming to a culmination tonight. It'll be 3 to go in the feature race this time by. Culver's pulling away. Vasquez has a mirror full of Thad Countryman looking for 4th.
That is a driver that has only gotten better. He's aged like a fine wine, and he's had a whole year to taste even sweeter. Can he get the dive on Aaron Vasquez? He does. Vasquez was really wide to go for the exit speed, but unfortunately, that's not coming. Just that short course experience coming in for Thad Countryman. Parks the exit and says, you're going to have to settle for 5th.
On board with Vasquez now, right on the dirt. You can see just how much pitch and roll these trucks have going over these jumps. Sets it up well for the opening corner past the start-finish line. But the Spaniard's going to have to try and set up a move into Cowboy, I think. Winkler's knocking on the door, and Nicholas Dachelet. The Cowboy corner is going to be where all of these moves are made. Vasquez not with a good run down the straightaway, though, Keenan. I don't think he's got anything this time.
Keep in mind, Vasquez got hit right on the wheel there. I wouldn't be surprised if he's carrying just a little bit of damage. He's not driving like it because he goes really deep in the Cowboy corner. But that Countryman again, Aaron Vasquez, probably one of the most well-rounded sim racers on the service. But that Countryman just so experienced in this venue.
Taking a look a little bit further back as well. This is Cody Vanderveer in the 7, currently P8. He's got a mirror full of Brody Tesher behind, Matthew Lindy in front of him. We've seen a lot of Vanderveer this week. Hasn't really gotten the results I think we were expecting from him, Keenan, but he has been up front pretty much every race and been within the top 10 striking distance. He's looking very good when it comes to those super session points at the end of the night.
Seems like every race he's got pace, he just gets Potawatomi'd. And speaking of big aggressive moves, Terry Miller to the inside of Hadley Boyce. He gets the move done, opens the door up for Saucy Susan. That's Crystal King in the chase position. She's trying to be able to follow Terry through. Unfortunately for Hadley, just leaves the door wide open, and you don't have to invite Crystal King in twice. She's not a vampire.
Right now, Crystal King has just kind of been etching away at those spots in a field that after turn 1 and after the incidents that we saw through 1, through the jump, through turn 2, really spread this field out, specifically in the lower mid-pack. But Crystal King has been etching away at spots. She is now staring down P11 with Terry Miller, and I would not be shocked. One misstep from Drake Matag, and Crystal King in a lap and a half could catch him for P10.
Yeah, again, everyone just kind of showing their cards now. Again, this is the last opportunity to be able to strut your stuff and flex your muscles before we go into the Super Sessions tomorrow on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Crystal King was our dominant force in all the qualifying races last year. She's got a win from this morning. Unfortunately, I think unless there's a massive calamity, she's going to have to settle for fighting for a top 10. But Terry Miller, great showing for him as well. He's the keeper now, trying to keep King behind.
It'll be a white flag this time by Dane Culver. Just took that white flag. Here's Crystal King looking to Calamity Corner. Does she set up a move on Terry Miller? And how aggressive is Miller going to be to try and keep it? How aggressive is Adley Boyce going to be to try and get that spot away from King as well? He is within striking distance if the two make contact.
We heard from Chris Leone, too. This is 6 laps versus 10 laps. Doesn't sound like a big deal, as if you've been keeping an eye on the timing board, Sean Winkler is one of our fastest trucks on the racetrack right now. That's dashing lane wide. Winkler's invited to the inside. He's got the run out of the Cowboy corner, but because Dashley got the banking, Josh, he'll get the run. Neither of these guys are going to lift going into Potawatomi Bend.
This side-by-side is only going to help Dane Culver up front, but on the bottom of the racetrack, it was a right-hander inside right side. Nicholas Dachelet just slid a little bit too far. Opened the door for Sean Winkler to grab second place. Lead battle, nothing existing there, but battling for second place and battling for a little bit more points towards the Super Session. Sean Winkler's looking good in that spot as the checkered flag comes out towards Calamity Corner.
I think this might be our first uneventful race for a win as Dane Culver cruises to hit the only person who's been able to win more than one feature race this week. Dane Culver, your 2024 champion from the evening split, is going to be the only driver going into the Super Sessions with multiple wins. As what a great battle from Winkler and Dashley. Dashley just making that last-minute mistake going over the Cowboy corner hairpin. And we got Hadley Boyce. Josh, we wanted to put on a show. Unfortunately, a little bit too much dip on the chip. That's Hadley Boyce with corners to go, getting a DQ, giving some spots away.
An absolute last-minute disqualification there as well as they were coming through Calamity Corner to the checkered flag. But Culver ends the preliminary races, Keenan, just like he started them. He won Tuesday night. He wins the feature race tonight on Friday night as well. Sets himself up real well for 2 Super Session races tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the points shake up, which of course will be released on our social media throughout the next couple of hours tomorrow morning. But Dane Culver's got to be walking in as the favorite now heading into the Super Sessions. But look at Sean Winkler. Put some respect on Winkler. He's usually a mid-pack driver. Something has changed in that 720 in the last 365 days because he is second place. He's splitting our 2024 champions right now in P2. And Aaron Vasquez, the one-man show, shows up for one race, takes a P5. We'll see him tomorrow, I'm sure.
Running out that top 10, Cody Retzlaff, Matthew Lindy, Cody Vanderveer with another consistent finish, Brody Descher and more. Terry Miller, there's Crystal King finishing in P12. We will see her tomorrow in those Super Session races on the broadcast. Nathan Minster, Adam McAfee, Brandon Forcade, Joey Herbie, Tom Grady, Miles Morris, Hadley Boyce, and James Burke with issues. Ends up in P20, and Hadley Boyce 1 lap down because of that disqualification on the white flag lap.
Yeah, I got to respect it. He was trying to put on a show for us, and he did, but unfortunately it costed him a little bit too much as just unfortunately getting knocked out. Something that Chris Leone talked about earlier in the week, just got to manage your incident points here as we jump on board with our winner, our only multiple-time winner this week of Dane Culver. Dane, been an up-and-down week for you, but you got to be feeling good heading into the Super Sessions tomorrow.
Yeah. Honestly, I have no expectations because they're probably going to try their best to take me out, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
You've had a lot of speed here this week, and of course, you're 2024 champion, and I know you had a special livery for this event. What's this event mean to you?
Well, I originally didn't really plan on running it because I kind of fell out of the whole entire short course scene with the drama that it brought with some of the leagues and stuff, and just gained a lot of hate for literally quite no reason. But I mean, Royal Purple messaged me, one of my sponsors, thank you to them, and everybody was kind of thrilled and they wanted me to run because they knew I was good at these cars, and I was like, all right, I'll run. And then they helped me with the sponsorship, so put their logo on my car and ended up running, getting a new custom paint, got an entire video for it. Thank you to Cisco for helping me get the collab with iRacing on Instagram. So I mean, it was just pretty cool to be able to get that opportunity.
You spent a lot of time behind the wheel, of course. Your sim rig really familiar to your midget that you seem to be racing 3 times a week at this point if you follow you on social media. How is that real-life experience coming in with how aggressive and how door-to-door and this racing has been, especially this week?
Well, actually, I used to race in short course in real life, so I learned a whole bunch of stuff with Connor. And I used to race with Connor, Luke Canup, a whole bunch of those guys that were actually that are probably... Oh, Luke Canup's not going to race, unfortunately, but... Connor is here, so hopefully he races tomorrow. I don't know if he's at Crandon or something. But yeah, I used to race with all of them, and it kind of just like taught me a certain type of racecraft. And I mean, me and Connor race the same. It's just great. Just other people. It's just sometimes it just they drive over their heads, and it could get to them. But yeah, they kind of taught me the racecraft. And with the dirt oval stuff, there's really no contact allowed. So I mean, you have to kind of stay focused and stuff, especially because there's no spotter or anything like that. So it's kind of just you inside of the car, and basically it's just you in your own mind. So it's a little bit of a different type of racing.
Well, Dane, again, our only multi-time winner this week. We'll let you go get ready for tomorrow, and congratulations, and we'll see you in the Super Sessions on Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's Dane Culver, your only multi-time winner here this week, and Joshua Lee catching up with another guy who's had a great showing this week. That's Sean Winkler.
VR headset off now for the 720 truck. And Sean, great to talk to you again.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to mention much about the feature, but you did get a sprint race win tonight, your second of the week. How'd that sprint race win feel, especially kind of coming from the back burners there on the last lap?
Oh, that sprint race was sick. Like, that was so awesome. I mean, I was getting banged around. I was like, oh, what am I doing way back here? Like, what is even happening right now? But in the immortal words of Chris Leone, never give up and drive it out. And that was just kind of sitting there in the back of my head. And I just kept digging. And, those two kids just start hitting each other and taking speed off of themselves. And if they're going to slow themselves down, you just got to find the way around it. And coming out of gravel there in the final corner, the final lap, I saw them kind of go wide. And I just tried to rip around the outside there, and we held on to it, and we kept it solid into Calamity and took that heat win. So that was pretty sick. That was fun. I liked it. Thank you.
You're setting yourself up for 2 Super Sessions tomorrow, and you've had a lot of speed when you've raced in the preliminary races, 2 sprint race wins, a feature race win. Can you rekindle some of that same magic tomorrow when we go racing the broadcast splits?
Hey, Josh, anything can happen. I'm going to try my best and go as fast as I can and use all the racecraft I got. So we'll see what happens. But anything can happen out there when you're racing. You can get kind of collected. Stuff happens. It's out of your control. You just got to keep your head down and keep digging. So I'm going to keep putting my laps in. I feel good. The setup is good. The equipment's working. I got a great team, Racecraft Academy. They've really helped me out and keep my mind right and keep me focused moving forward. So we're going to do everything we can to put it together and drive up to the top.
Good to see you again, Sean. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Racecraft Academy and NLR and Real Broker and all you guys for putting this on. This is a great week to be out here racing. Super fun. So if anybody's watching, buy the trucks, buy the courses, get out here, come rip. We got Wheatland coming in December. So sick. That's going to be fun to race a new track, and I'm really excited. So yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Sprint race winner, Sean Winkler. We'll definitely see him again tomorrow in the Super Session. Keenan, Nicholas Achelet also joining us after a good finish in the feature race.
First things first, Nick, good to see you. About time we had a chance to talk with you here this week. We'll get into the rest of your race here, but you were started P nowhere in the feature and sitting P3. So talk us through your start.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I just got a good launch from the back row, ended up squeezing between the trucks in front of me, and kind of just prayed on the outside because turn 1 just cleans the outside. Everyone comes sliding out. So I kind of got lucky going through there, and then in barn jump I was able to stick to the inside, and somehow I came out 5th going off skybox jumps, and I'm like, all right, let's race.
So you're one of our 2024 champions, of course, and you are gunning now for your 2025, trying to go back to back. What's going to have to happen for that factory sim sport machine to be able to be on the top step of the podium once again?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be all about qualifying, getting a good start. I ended up qualifying on pole tonight, so that was a good start. And then in the heat, stuff happened. I accidentally ramped up. That was weird contact that caused that mayhem there. We were door by door, but yeah, it's all going to be about starts. That's all it is about Crandon, and just holding on to your track position once you have it.
For those unfamiliar, I think you can call yourself a veteran in the short course game here in iRacing at this point. What does this event mean to you, and what's it mean to the short course community?
Well, this event's special to me because I'm from Crandon, originally from Crandon. I've missed probably 1 weekend of racing at actual Crandon in my life. So it just means a lot. I got my first world championship win here. It was great, but this event is awesome. It brings everyone together. We're all battling hard out there, and hopefully we put on a good show. And I'm just glad iRacing puts this on every year.
You have to give our good friend Chris Cioni a high five when you see him there at Crandon next week. But Nick, hopefully we see you tomorrow. We get to talk to you again tomorrow. Great run tonight. Always nice to hear from you, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to my teammates at Factory Sim Sport. Crystal, Tom, and Terry were in the race with me. And then HW Designs for sponsoring me.
That was Nicholas Ashley. We got to talk to both of your 2024 champions, Joshua Lee, both on the podium. And again, it looks like that rivalry has been renewed going into our Super Sessions on Saturday.
I am so excited to go racing tomorrow. When the preliminaries are done, the points are done. It is all for the win. There is no solid points day. There is no consistent finishes anymore. It is go big or go home for the wins. And we not only have one Super Session tomorrow, we've got 2 Super Sessions tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the iRacing Esports Network. If you've been joining us all week long, or if you're joining us just tonight, join us tomorrow when the real aggression starts. We've already seen aggressive driving. We've already seen amazing finishes. Tomorrow's going to be nothing different.
Ladies and gentlemen, you think you've seen action, you've seen nothing yet. We have a chance to crown 2 champions. Are we going to see a repeat winner? Will Dashley and Kelver get it done, or somebody new to the top step of the podium? On behalf of the entire iRacing broadcasting team, Joshua Lee and myself, my name is Keenan Kuzin. We'll see you in the pit in our Super Sessions tomorrow, Saturday nights, all right, for Crandon.